Now, summer is on the horizon and many of us will be looking forward to lockdown restrictions beginning to ease. But fire services fear this may go hand in hand with increased demand for their services. Here to tell us more is West Sussex Fire and Rescue's Chief Fire Officer, Dr. Sab Cohen-Hatton. Lovely to have you back with us, Sabrina. So what are your main concerns then as we come out of lockdown?
There are three things that we're particularly conscious of. The first one are road traffic collisions. The second one are fires caused by barbecues, and then waste fires.
So let's look at those in a bit more detail. Firstly, road traffic collisions. Why are we expecting to see more of those?
Simple reason is we've got more cars on the road now as lockdown eases. But we're also worried about young drivers or those who might have only just passed their tests because, believe it or not, inexperience and overconfidence can contribute to 1 in 5 new drivers having an accident within 6 months of passing their test.
So what advice would you give to drivers then, taking back to the roads?
First one is the most basic one, and that's alcohol. There's no way of knowing how much is safe to have before you start driving. So if you're planning to drive, I would abstain completely. The second one are the basic safety checks that you can do on your car, making sure that your oil is topped up and your tyres are checked so that the condition of your car doesn't contribute to having an accident. And then the final one is just take a bit of time to get used to being behind the wheel again, especially if you haven't driven much.
Yeah, definitely. I've been doing that. Some really good tips there. You mentioned social gatherings as well. What are the risks associated with fires there?
We're all looking forward to summer and we're all looking forward to being able to see people again. So we think more people are going to be having barbecues, and there are a couple of things that you can do to keep yourself safe there. The first one is please don't barbecue in the countryside. We know it's tempting, we know it's beautiful, but we have so many wildfires that start that way. We'd much prefer you to do it at home and to do it safely. So when you are barbecuing at home, don't leave it unattended, be careful where you put it, make sure it's not near a shed or a fence or something like that, and don't use petrol or paraffin to start your barbecue because we've seen some horrific injuries from that. And the final tip is when you put your barbecue out, when you put your coals out, put it on bare ground. Don't be tempted to put it straight in the bin because if it's hot, it can melt the bin and you can have a fire start that way too.
And talking more about, rubbish fires, what about the rubbish fires specifically and garden waste fires?
Yeah. We know some people have found it difficult to get rid of their waste during the lockdown period. They might have stuff pent up in their gardens. Please don't be tempted to burn it yourselves. Contact your local authority, find the best way to dispose of it, to recycle it or to take it to a tip.
Great advice, Sabrina. Thanks very much, Rav.